Does he want to come back, though?
He doesn't want to coach. General manager and coach aren't the same thing.
Yeah, GM, maybe. I mean, I don't know. I want to make sure that we get it right, so I'm not upset about us starting the process now. That's all I know.
The general manager should be Bill Cowher.
That's never going to happen. They burned that bridge
foolishly. Definitely. I was joking, saying bring Coughlin back.
Yeah.
But that's not going to happen.
They burned that bridge, his house, his car.
What about the new coach?
I think they're going to... and I've heard this on the rumor.
I like the rumor
reach
of
out to Josh. I heard Josh McDaniels, offensive coordinator for the Patriots.
As a Cowboys fan, I really don't want this guy to be the next head coach of the New York Giants. But what about Jim Bob Cooter?
Oh, God.
Yes! Jim Bob Cooter.
Maybe top 5 names of coaches in the world.
Yeah, good name, but I don't know.
He got Matthew Stafford the richest contract in NFL history.
That doesn't help me feel any better.
I think it either needs to be someone like him, an offensive coordinator who works with pocket passers and also makes the best out of a bad running situation, which he does.
I don't know if I'm them. I'm looking at playoff team, OC and DCs.
So then, really, the only options are Josh McDaniels and Matt Patricia, unless you can get Bill O'Brien to come from Texans.
That's not a playoff team.
They were last year and the year before.
I'm talking this year. If I'm them, I'm looking very heavily at the Vikings staff, especially their DC.
Do you know who I want them to have as their new head coach? Jason Garrett. Take him from the Cowboys.
No.
Please!
No.
Please!
Don't you put that evil on me, Ricky
Please.
Bobby.
Yeah, seriously.
What about you, Dan Beebe? Next head coach. What about Bill Parcells as the general manager? Bill Cowher as the coach.
I don't see either one of them agreeing to that.
The other surprising names that I've heard floated, I don't know how realistic they are defensive guys Mike Vrabel, Joey Porter.
Did you say Gruden?
He said Gruden.
I said Gruden just because somebody pushed him on the issue on Monday night. And he said, "Don't believe everything that you hear out there." And they said,
"Wait, did Sean McDonough ask him?"
Yeah, he's like, "Would you take the Giants job?" And he's like, "There's some people rumoring out there that you might be curious about the Giants job." And he's like, "Don't believe everything that you hear out there." And they're like, "Okay, well," and he like pushed him, and he said something about Eli, and he's like, "Well, they said that if you get the job back." Eli's got or they said if you get in case you're thinking about the job, Eli, the odds for Eli in Vegas returning are 35-1. And he's like, yeah, I would take the under in that.
Yeah, because Humpty, Canny, and Rothenberg.
Extra fuel.
Yeah, Humpty, Canny, and Rothenberg have Sean McDonough on every Monday before the game. And they've been asking them to like drop little things into the show, and he hasn't done it yet, but they asked. He did. That's great. Love it.
He asked him if there was any truth to him considering the job, and he said, "Don't believe everything that you read or hear out there." And then he's like, "Well, in case you're considering it, the Vegas odds have Eli 35-1 to come back." And he's like, "Yeah, I'd take the under if I was betting."
Yeah. All right. Well,
how about one of the Ryan guys? Were they?
No. Oh, God. No.
Absolutely
they are banished from the realm of coaching.
Rex Ryan?
What about Lane Kiffin?
I would take Rex before I take Rob, and I don't want Rex.
My God, Rob is terrible.
Yeah, no. Rob's good at one thing, and that's eating and getting into bar fights.
Yeah.
He's not very good at bar fights.
Yeah.
All right.
No.
Prediction time. Prediction time. Who's the next head coach to go? Is it obvious?
You gotta say
Marvin Lewis.
Yeah. Bengals head coach? Marvin Lewis, yeah.
But then you've also got Hugh Jackson.
I would say Marvin Lewis first. Because Marvin Lewis has been there forever. What has he to show for it?
The expectation is higher for Marvin Lewis.
We've also got Todd Bowles, who's still on the hot seat.
I think he's earned himself another season.
Yeah, this is a surprise.
At this point, they're saying they're not extending his contract, but I think he's still contracted for another year.
You've got Dirk Cutter in Tampa.
one bad year.
They've been
think
changing head coaches too quickly in
They were
Tampa.
pretty
You've got to
good
figure
last
something
year.
out.
Yeah, I'd say
You've got to let it try and
year.
get figured out there.
And you got John Fox in Chicago.
Maybe John Fox, but I don't see that happening. They just put in that quarterback.
Personnel.
Why would you? I mean, unless they think that somehow they're going to pull Chargers and bring in another coach that's going to finally make the offense make sense to Trubisky, but I don't know that that's going to help them.
And then now apparently you've got Vance Joseph, who's out here having the time of his life. Right, Sergio Dip? Oh, I love that guy. Follow him on Twitter. He's wonderful. He's great. So
yeah, I'm going to say Lewis.
It's got to be Marvel Lewis.
I just feel like
and Hugh Jackson might follow him.
I kind of want to say Ben McAdoo. They're going to hire him back and fire him again, just because they're so pissed off.
No. Hire him as a T-shirt vendor and fire him again.
Ben McAdoo.
Yeah, somebody.
McAdoo.
One of my good Giants friends sent me a picture that is Ben and Jerry's unemployment, and it's got Reese and McAdoo shaking hands on it.
That's great. That's great. Now, just some coach carousel. Then we'll get to our picks, and we'll be done for the night, guys. Just because everyone's head is spinning, and in case I've missed any, we got Chip Kelly to UCLA, Jimbo Fisher to Texas A&M, Dan Mullen to Florida, Willie Taggart to Florida State, Scott Frost to Nebraska, Josh Heupel to Central Florida, Gus Malzahn stays at Auburn, Chad Morris from SMU to Arkansas. I think that was just announced today. Kevin Sumlin fired, and Herm Edwards, Arizona State. Mm-hmm. Did I miss any?
Greg Schiano hired by Tennessee and then not.
Tennessee is a mess.
Really quickly.
Nobody is going to want to coach at Tennessee. That was the baddest look Tennessee could have ever done.
They're going to have to get a high school assistant coach.
How can you announce it on a Sunday when football fans are paying attention to football, and the ones that are paying attention to college are probably watching the pros, and they're like, oh my God, Greg Schiano, he just takes the job with Tennessee. And then no more than a few hours later, it's like, oh, maybe not. What a dumpster fire that place is. And then apparently I was listening to other comments of people on the radio. I guess this Tennessee fan called in and he was talking to somebody. I forget when it was. He was like, if you mention anyone in Tennessee for the head coaching job other than John Gruden, people will bite your head off. I was like, there's no way John Gruden's coaching college football.
I wouldn't want to go there with John Gruden. Not right now.
The only I was trying to come up with a list of names of people that they'd be okay with, and the only other person I could think of was Peyton Manning. It would have to be Peyton Manning.
Is he not, among godhood there?
He is. But really quickly, the name of the the name of the college football bowl submission thing that we're doing is no job for you.
I mean, I'm not really upset that Schiano did get the job because we keep our defensive coordinator. So I think it's really. I was like, no, that makes sense. Ohio State loses another or one of our coordinators to become a head coach somewhere. That sounds par for the freaking course.
I'm just a little perplexed with that whole thing because a lot of people are saying the reason that they don't want Greg Schiano is because Mike McQueary said that he was one of the people involved in the knowledge of the Penn State Jerry Sandusky scandal. There's no proof of that. Nothing ever bogus. Actually came out. And Mike McQueary had later on admitted that some of the things he might have misremembered. So,
that's convenient.
Yeah. So
you know what? It's been a while. I drink a lot. I don't know. Details are a little fuzzy.
Yeah, kids, showers, something. Yeah. Schiano.
Penn State. I'm pretty sure we won a national title. It was when you were playing EA. Whatever.
If the people from Tennessee wanted to say something like, we want a coach who's going to bring class and dignity to the school, and all you need to know about Greg Schiano is that he told his players in Tampa Bay to rush the quarterback who is taking a knee. That's not class. we're not having that.
Yeah,
I would accept that much more.
That's a better answer than the one they gave us.
Yeah, and then the whole Ray Rice thing. Like, come on. He took Rutgers from absolute garbage to the cream of the crop of the Big East. And then when he left, garbage again.
Well, I mean, why are you going to blame him for Ray Rice? It's not like he hit her when he was in college. He hit her in an Atlantic City hotel room after he was a pro. It's not like he had
for quite a few years. Yeah. All right.
Like, he knew, he was like, yeah, I probably could have said something because that hotel video came out.
Ray called him beforehand. He was like,
should
I hit her?
Should I hit her? Smack her around a little bit?
To be honest, I used to go to his dorm and he'd beat the crap out of her when I was there. I should have seen something was wrong.
Yeah.
That's what he's going to say? Like, come on. You get out of here. Just stop making excuses. The worst part about it is the fact that the people of Tennessee tried to pass the buck. For some reason, like they jacked.
The reason they didn't want him is because he wasn't Gruden.
Maybe, but if you think it as a Tennessee football fan that you're getting Josh Gruden, you are delusional. Delusional. He's not taking that job.
Maybe before this whole thing went to straight dumpster fire.
I mean, was there any thought that Gruden was going to return to football as a college coach? Because it never crossed my mind.
I would think he'd be more apt to be a college coach than an NFL coach because he'd have more control. He gets to offer the scholarships.
I can see
he
that.
gets to recruit the players.
See that, but I still would assume that Gruden would more likely want to go back to coaching pro than he would.
And I mean, look at what Jimbo Fisher just got from Texas A&M, $7.5 million a year.
Well,
He's not making that in the NFL.
Well, no, I understand that. The money to be made in college football is astonishing. Look what Saban makes. Look what Urban Meyer makes. Look what Harbaugh makes to lose.
Yeah. All right. 2 weeks ago, because we didn't do the show last week because I was sick, Tony and I both went 7-3 because the Giants had to wait a week to fire their coach, or I'd have been 8-2. So Tony,
that's why it was the right timing.
Yes.
Are you gonna give us more prop bets?
No, it's going to be something probably a little bit more difficult.
I'm going to give you one.
Yes, I love it. I'm going to do the college games, and Tony's going to do the NFL games. And I think you're probably wondering, it's only Army versus Navy this week. What do you mean college games? Not so fast, my friends.
Oh, God.
FCS playoffs this week.
Oh, crap.
Oh, yeah. First game we're going to pick straight up Army-Navy. Who you got?
Navy.
Army.
Navy.
I'm going to go Navy as well. All right.
Baby going with the ground pounders.
Yep. Here we go. Number 2, Weber State versus defending champs James Madison.
I don't know what that is.
James Madison are defending champs, and I'm pretty sure are undefeated.
I'm going to go with James Madison because I guess.
James Madison.
All right. James Madison plays against UAlbany, by the way, in the same conference. Excuse me.
James Madison also took a dump on Stony Brook last week.
Yeah. Yeah.
They
also had a quarterback named Vad Lee who used to play at Georgia Tech.
Yeah, give me James Madison.
All right, no one going for the major upset. All right. Next game is Wofford versus North Dakota State. I'm going to go Wofford.
I'm going to go North Dakota State.
I'll go Wofford.
Which is more difficult, this or the prop bets?
This. I don't know.
Have you heard of any of these schools?
No. Give me Watford.
All right. New Hampshire versus South Dakota State. I've seen New Hampshire play many times. Give me New Hampshire.
New Hampshire.
Another team that UAlbany plays.
Who they play?
New Hampshire and South Dakota State. The Jackrabbits.
New Hampshire.
They're really the Jackrabbits?
Yes, they are.
Huh.
Better basketball school than football, but...
Give me... Give me New Hampshire.
All right. And my final game is